We are at Amiga Ireland today at Rob Cranley's table, where he will be doing an ABBA switch mod, which is a DF0-DF1 swap switch on Craig Harrison's Amiga 600. I now have a Facebook page dedicated to my channel, and it's a nice place to chill with myself, my friends and fellow subscribers. So if you're on Facebook, be sure to join. The link is facebook.com/MsMadLemon. If you wish to watch the main Amiga Ireland 2018 event video, which this video is stemming from, then the link is in the description below. Now, the ABBA mod. I've only heard of this done on the Amiga 500 since it has removable chips, so I was quite intrigued by this one and I decided to film it. The link to the PDF file which Rob was following is linked in the description below. Also thanks to Kenny Gohan for filming the extra footage with his camera. Do check out his site, A Sensible Blogger. So, let's begin.
Okay, so what this is I've been asked to do a mod on an A600, and the idea is that the computer will be able to switch between DF0 and DF1. Now, the reason for that is a lot of games are hard-coded to use DF0, and so if you've got an external drive, you can use that for booting and for running these games that can only normally run from the internal drive. But it will still allow the internal drive to function fine, and the reason behind that is that Craig, who's asked me to do it, has an external gotek drive, so he'd be able to boot from games that only work from DF0 with an external gotek, and that's the idea behind this. So so basically what the mod involves on a 600 is you need to remove one of the chip resistors and run some wires to a switch, and that's basically it. And modify the ribbon cable to the drive as well. So so that's the plan. I may have had a beer. So, oh dear. Yeah, it's a Dutch courage, yeah, but no, it'll be fine. It'll be fine because it's relatively simple stuff. Also, quite limited by sockets here, which is a problem for my soldering gear. When I say my soldering gear, it's not my soldering gear. I borrowed this because I flew here and I couldn't bring all this crap on the plane. They don't take kindly to that.
No.
So this is all not my gear.
Just for bringing this stuff, I got seriously checked.
Yeah. I brought an Amiga 1200 through customs once in my bag and got funny questions. And then 1200 and a zip stick. What's this? It's an old computer. Yeah. So the resistor we need to remove is it's numbered 95 there, but it's actually 495 or 595. I think E595, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from the end. So that has to come out of there, so we're going to use a bit of hot air and I'm going to remove that. And for this kind of thing, because it's quite close to the sockets, we've got some Patron tape on either side of it, and and we're trying to keep the temperature down a bit. So I have this set to 280 degrees because it's always a good idea to warm the board first in the area where you're going to solder, because first off, it makes it easier when you sort of focus on a specific component, but also because it stops thermal shock to the boards. With the rapid expansion causing crack joints and things like that. But I also have to be careful now because, like I say, I don't know if it's actually 280 degrees. It says 280 degrees. You can never be wholly sure.
That's what the common ones you can get on Amazon, I think.
Yeah, and there are lots of them. And they're basically Chinese clones of serious gear. What's that?
It's wet, isn't it? The company.
Yeah, there are a few of them. That one's not it, but you can get wet ones as well. Yeah.
It's supposed to be a couple of them.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So, they're fine, but I'm just, I don't always trust it.
Exactly. Don't trust the temperature.
So
my web is not as hot as it says it is.
Yeah, and you find that every one of them will be different slightly, So just keep an eye on number 95 there. And start ramping up the heat just on that resistor. And there we go. So that's removed. And save that for later. Now I'm after touching this other one here. So we'll just get that back where it was. Okay. So there's our resistor removed. And that will give us space to solder on a couple of wires.
And this is why SMD scares me. It's the
Yeah,
size of the
yeah,
freaking
and
screen.
to be honest, I'm not wholly happy with soldering wires to pads like that because they're not made for that kind of thing. They really aren't. But you know, this is. I've been asked. I've warned Craig. This is not ideal and stuff like that. So it's fine. But yeah, like SMD pads shouldn't be used for anything but SMD parts. That is it.
I just realized you're too bad with it.
Yeah,
So
it's crazy.
take a sip of another beer.
Yeah. this is scary shit. Okay, so and my problem here is I've only got one socket for my soldering gear, so I have to switch between these.
It must be.
I know, yeah. But yeah, it's fine. So I think I'm done with the hot air soldering for now anyway, because I will just reuse that pad as it is. Like the pads are in good shape, so it's fine. I don't know if you can see that there, but I'm not claiming responsibility for this recapping either, because it's not great. It's really not great. The tantalum capacitors that have been used, and the soldering couldn't dodge. I'm just admiring the capacitors.
They're tiny.
They're awful. But yeah, no. So we've got our resistor out now, and so that's it. So I think we're done with the hot air part of it, and we're ready to do the wiring bit. Now this means plugging and unplugging stuff. Now how I got in there was through that little gap there. So
I got in there earlier. Yeah, that's how I got in there earlier.
I'm sorry, Rob, it has to be done.
So this is where they keep the sockets here. Move that out of the way.
Do you want the extension lead?
I was looking for the extension.
I have the extension lead. Go on.
I would love an extension lead.
I didn't realise that's what you're doing now.
Thank you. Yeah. No, this is my ritual for solving. You know.
That's your praise to God.
I pray under the table.
Go and meet them at the restaurant. So we'll pack up in about 10, not pack up, we'll lock up in about 10 or 15 minutes. If that's okay, you just keep that in mind, and we'll see the guys there. Okay, thanks.
You received the Rob Cranley emerge.
Again, borrow tools, borrow bit better. Okay.
Imagine me doing this stuff and filming at the same time. I'm like dealing with both. It's really like a headache sometimes.
Okay, so I have to follow the instructions I'm given. So separate wire 10. So we've got wire 10 of the floppy cable here, and that's wire 10 separated there. And we have to tin both ends. So put that. Put back. So this is the motherboard end. Okay. So we've arranged the cable this way. So this is the motherboard end, and this is the floppy cable end. So and that's important for how this mod works. Yeah, see how we're doing. We're nearly there.
Why did it touch you?
Don't breathe. Don't do anything.
Soldering with an audience.
Yeah. I'm not.
Trouble we're going through for you here.
I'm not a fan of an audience, to be honest.
Sorry?
I'm not a fan of an audience, to be honest.
You
But
want another camera here.
Okay, so we pin this wire here. And we tin this one. Okay, so we've got the ends of the wire tinned. And so, and now we have to set up our switch. So where's our little switch gun? There we go. So there's a particular wiring for this switch, so we're going to do that now. I don't know if you can focus on that. That might be. So I'm going to work on this a little bit here.
Oh, okay. It's you making it all hard.
What's that?
It's you making it
Yeah,
hard.
sorry.
You're not really.
You're punishing me for like filming you.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, what we're doing with this is this switch is reversing the drive select signals, and this iron isn't hot enough. Thank you. This is Daniel's gas soldering iron. Again, breaking out the big guns here. I really just wanted an excuse to use this. Here we go. Mad.
I'm affected a lot by laughter.
Yeah.
Infectious.
Absolutely. Burn, baby, burn. No?
I mean, I know them, but I've never seen them.
Yeah. I use them occasionally for the. Have you ever recapped an Amiga?
No,
No,
not
not
an
yet.
SMD, not an SMD one.
No, but actually for these capacitors, the through-hole ones, when they go to the ground plane, on some Amigas, especially the early version A600s, they connect directly to the ground plane and without little what are called thermal relief areas. And what happens is basically the ground plane absorbs all the heat from the soldering iron. So you need a more powerful iron for that. So I like to use small, delicate irons like that. But sometimes you need to have a more powerful iron, and that's it. And so sometimes the soldering stations have more powerful irons, and that's great. That's what you use. But I personally, I like these guys. And as well as that,
I can just use my solder pump for everything now.
yeah, right. Well, yeah, solder pump. You may forget about that for SMT stuff.
Yeah.
But
God.
yeah, yeah,
I need to recap my 500 actually. So that's coming in next.
yeah. Okay, so.
This is very bright for you.
No, it's fine. What I have to do now is reverse soldering so you can see it.
You're just having fun here.
Yeah. Ah, come on. There we go. Okay, and the up. Oh dear. Right.
We need more layers. We need someone to film Kenny now.
Oh yeah. Solid reception. Yeah, I get it. Bad habits, don't try this at home, kids. Oh.
The audience gets bigger every time.
I didn't think you expected this, did you?
Yeah, no.
Me running the film.
Yeah.
The back is not going to thank me.
Yeah.
You have to hold it, is it?
It's not. He's moving around, so I'm on it.
Sorry.
The dials on the back of that light, I'm guessing it's like temperature and intensity or channel.
Yeah, there's two different lights here.
So, well, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tin the other legs on this guy. Because,
It's awesome.
this iron is lovely. Yeah, it's actually really cool.
I know, I love it as well.
Because,
It's got a really precise tempo.
yeah, And you need a lot of power because if you've got a narrow tip, if you've got a narrow tip, you need a lot of power behind it to keep the temperature in it, and that's what happens. Yeah.
Or just saturate everything in something.
So I'm just going to tin all these wires so they're ready to solder.
But actually, this soldering iron is around €80 anyway. So
I suppose they have to start being competitive. Everyone's buying everything online now. It's just like the same model number in Amazon. You get it.
I used to use the other one, the Space 76.
It's really nice as well.
Lantex are like the biggest brand, aren't they?
But they're sort of
Sort of
low to mid range.
Are they?
Yeah.
At least they're one of the more
No, they're fine. They're not.
all of them in school.
They're not your cheap irons, but yeah, no, they're a good iron, but sort of a fairly basic one. They're not really industrial, is what I'm saying. But I have an Antex gas one, and it's really nice. Okay.
This is lovely.
So yeah, it is.
Trying my best to pay it.
And it's actually got a really big tank on it as well.
Yeah.
Mine was a skinny one, and it doesn't hold half as much, and it runs out after about 20 minutes. So it's like, this is really nice. Okay, so we're gonna have to get out of here soon, I think.
We're going?
Yeah, we're going to have to go soon. So I'm going to have to come back and do this later.
Sorry. Takes me back to Halloween.
What's that?
It takes me back to Halloween. Busting
Yeah. Okay, so we'll try and join this now. No, this is just ruining the installation.
So basically we just created a polarity switch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this is this is for the two select signals. So sorry, I'm going to back that way around. So this is just yes, switching over the two. It's swapping the two floppy signals, floppy select signals. Sorry. So this So this is basically swapping the select 0 and select 1 signals. So 1 will be 0 and 0 will be 1. But the problem is, and the reason you have to fiddle about with the things on the board is that they're sort of hardwired to certain pins. So what we're doing is we're swapping the pins for the external and the internal drive.
Okay, the pads, I don't envy you here.
Yeah.
Pads, do they connect to a solid pin somewhere? They just solder to rather than the pads themselves?
No. Well, not on this side of the board. They both connect to pins on the underside of these connectors. So you could connect to them, but then it's on the underside of the board, and it's not so easy to route around. It can be done that way. I'm following this.
I think you know yourself.
Absolutely, and I did say that to Craig. I said, soldering the pads like that is not a good idea. It's really not a good idea. So yeah.
Doing that afterwards and hot glue them to the board. Yeah, I'll pop knot them down when I get home.
Yeah, because
Because I mean, it's going to have to sit with the wires hanging out the back of the case for today anyway, because I haven't got a drill to make the hole in the case. Unless you've got a drill tucked around
don't
somewhere.
say things. Don't. Oh my god! I can't believe I'm doing this. I can't believe there's a fucking record of me doing this shit. Like, yeah. Right.
If it works, I'll win the 1200 next year.
Yeah. And I'll put it on the bottom of the board where it's nice and safe, and that's.
Well, there are other ways of doing it, using the bottom of the board, but that means cutting traces, and I don't.
Well, I don't know, because I think once the resistor's out of there, I think the trace is cut.
Yeah, but you can then, if you decide no, I don't want this, I want to put it back, you can put the resistor back in more easily than rebuild the trace.
No, but I'm not talking about even cutting traces. I think with the resistor gone, that's the trace already cut.
But it's not getting the knife physically.
No, absolutely, and that's fine. But I can still solve it to the bottom pins of those connectors.
Yeah, do that. It makes no difference to me.
Okay.
It makes absolutely no difference to me.
My problem is now I've got.
That board hasn't got the shielding underneath, so there's no metal.
It doesn't even have the underneath.
At all.
Okay, right.
Because I don't have the shielding.
Right. Okay. Now,
because it came out of a case that was this machine came from a whole load of donor parts, and the case came from a capacitor leakage that was so spectacular it completely rusted through the shielding.
Okay, and that explains all the shit that's around here.
That was a separate board from a different machine.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, that also had bad capacitor leakage at some stage or other. Okay, well then I'm going to plug in my laptop. which is so E595 that I've removed as the small resistor there is basically just cutting the select 1 line to the outside port, and so we're rerouting select, the select 0 and select 1, which is basically what decides what is DF0 and DF1. So all I've done is remove that, and so now with the wires we have to connect to both sides of that pad, we're going to have a look, and now I've just thought of something. It might not be available on the internal floppy, which means still soldering to a pad or soldering to a chip, neither of which is ideal. It's pin 12 and pin 21. So we're going to solder the pin 21 on the back of the board. Here, so pin 23, so pin 21 is here. So we're going to solder to the second pin across on the bottom row here. That's pin 21. Oh, sorry, the third pin across. Is that where we're going? Yeah, so third pin across. Very important because pin 23 is one of the power supply lines. So third pin across, and then we're going to also solder to now. And so we're going to this pin here. Yeah, that's much better than soldering to the pad.
I feel better now.
Absolutely. So do I.
I'm so glad you made a big issue out of it.
Absolutely. It only took 5 times asking. Yeah. So now that's there. So this wire will go to pin 12 on the internal floppy header. Now this is actually slightly funky with some Amiga models. I don't think they all do it the same way, because what this signal is actually the selection for having 2 floppies internally.
Right. Okay.
And not every Amiga has it on the internal header, I believe. There that is. This guy, more heat shrink. But anyways, it'll do. It's there, yeah. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check these connections with Alan's meter, because it's very good. Okay, so we're going to try the pads on this board that because since we removed the resistor, we want to check and make sure we have made the right connections. So. Oh yeah, that's what I'm here for. Yeah. Okay, so this wire here should connect to pad that's nearest the external connector. Yep. And this wire here should connect to pad that's on the inside. And if we switch that should. Yep, that's fine. And A and B should connect to this. So this is here. Half goes to the 600 motherboard. So this guy is the board. This guy goes to that. Yeah. Okay. So that looks like it's done.
Okay, that change makes this even more easy to work.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh
I think
God, I was really having
craziness. Yeah,
I was having kittens.
So
I was like,
yeah,
he's going to screw us.
Yeah. I'm not happy with that, so I'm going to just take the solder off these pads now. It's terrible, but I would take it off and resolder it. But,
yeah, I know.
But the rest of the board's in shit. So it's terrible. Okay, Craig's not even here. It's fine. Right.
doesn't care.
He does not care. But look, you know, and that's the thing. To be honest, you know, do you ever see how a mechanic always drives a shit car?
Yeah.
Yes, because they can hold it together, and I'm the same. My Amigas are all in pieces everywhere, and you know, I don't mind my Amigas look shitty soldering once they work well and it's safe.
Things that it's a mess, but it's my mess kind of thing.
Exactly, but yeah, I feel ashamed giving it to someone else. But anyways, right, there we go. We'll let him try
We're
it.
worrying more than him, I think. It's testing time.
We'll let Craig have a go of it.
Yeah.
See, yeah. Okay, so this is the motherboard connector. So there we go there. Because they were supposed to be before the dinner. Okay. Where's Craig?
Little poor thing.
Oh, fluffy thing. Muffler.
Dead kitten.
Dead kitten.
Yeah, I only got that
I wish my kitten was dead, but unfortunately it's not, and it's making me.
Virtual eyes. Virtual eyes.
God, you see that thing?
It's also a bit modest, so it's like
How do I reach the power switch without?
There we go. Good stuff. Right, so here we go. So this should be booting from the internal drive.
there isn't like a
Yeah. Well, it's a modified gotek. Yeah. They do, don't they? Especially as an external drive, it's really nice. Because I know somewhere in the attic at home I have an external drive and a floppy drive that works like that. Okay, so
Yeah, that's fine. There's nothing
that's
attached,
fine.
not
But
enough
it's
memory.
booting from the internal drive.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
turn it off. Flick the switch.
And now it should boot from the
Turn it on.
gotek.
Yeah. Which it is.
Floppy simulators like that. They run the same speed.
I was going to say, yeah, they simulate it.
Yeah, exactly. It is 1-to-1.
That's fucking horrible. I want no part of this.
That's why we have an SSD.
Yeah, true, yeah. You see that SSD? That's a cool SSD, to be fair.
That one's only 16 gig. The one in there is 64.
It's a discount module. Yeah, there we go. So it's working.
It's working.
Freaking sweet. Put it. What about the disc? Is that put a disc in the internal drive because that should be readable as well, is it?
Oh yeah. You should.
Should. Is that it? Well? Is that the purpose of the mod?
Yeah.
Yeah.
just
so
swap
they
them
should
over.
both be.
On that drive.
As in, does it actually have a DF1 connector? Does it see a DF1
just
connector?
reset the Amiga and hold the two buttons.
Yeah.
You what?
Reset
Just
the Amiga and
reset it. Yeah.
hold the two mouse buttons. It doesn't see it.
So it's just only swapping over DF0 to internal and external bits. So have a look at that documentation. Is that all the mod is supposed to do? Because
Now, this isn't an original Amiga drive, of course. This
maybe
is a
that's
modded
got
PC drive.
so maybe it's got some funky things going on.
So,
Well, why don't you switch
swap that one with the vampire.
Switch the other way because we know that works as DF0.
Yeah, see if that shows up.
Yeah, see if that shows up as DF1.
Do you want to hook up the second gotek?
Hello.
I'm going to do a short interview with Eddie, Neil and Niall, and I was wondering if there's any questions you think I should ask. If you want to jump in and ask questions, if you want to shout out a question.
It's not something I've thought of.
We had to cut it short since there was a talk about the begin, which will be uploaded in a separate video in this Amiga Ireland 2018 series. But they did get the gotek working in the end. Also, if you're a fan of Sensible Soccer, do check out Kenny's Sensible Soccer gameplay video from the Amiga Ireland event itself. Thanks so much for your likes, your shares, do leave your thoughts in the comments below, don't forget to check out my other videos and do subscribe for more. For now, I will say adios! For their generous donations, I would like to say a big thank you to my patrons: Al Hunt, Anthony Whittington, Boris Matishin, Cameron Armstrong, Carrie S. Turner, Carsten Lervad, Casual Commodore, Espen Gulbeck, GadgetUK164, Gav Messingham, Hayes Maker, James Burr, Jan Beta, Jim Leonard, James Hare, Linus Johansson, Matthew, Matt Shepkar, Noor E, Robert Minnis, Rofe Otterstein, Roy Gelotti, Rudiger Stiedel, Sean O'Keefe, Sophie Leroy, Thomas Bresina, Thomas Muller, The Deeply Cynical, Mickey Holm, Mike Richards, Braxis, Rancy, Stuart Evans, and Tina. If you wish to support me on Patreon, the link is in the description below, as well as links to my patrons' websites or YouTube channels.